Hey guys, Ellie Shostak here. Hope you are doing well, and I truly hope you can forgive my loud shirt. I know it is quite boisterous and loud, and some might say obnoxious, but that's okay because I need to be who I am, and you need to be who you are. So, brief intro as to who I am, what I do, and what I plan on accomplishing in this live training today for you. So I am a relationship coach, and I've been doing this for about, I would say, 10 years in terms of coaching. And prior to coaching, I was a clinical social worker. So I switched my practice from social work to coaching after I took off a toupee that I wore for many years, and I realized that I could be a lot more authentic as a coach than as a clinical social worker. And what I've done is put elements of what works for me in terms of dating, because I dated for 11 years prior to getting married, and those 11 years were filled with regrets, which is what we're going to talk about in a few moments. And then I got married, and I'm still married to the same beautiful woman that I'm lucky enough to be with her for 17 plus years now. And what I wanted to do is create a program for singles who are looking to get into and maintain a healthy relationship. So I created the Find the Right One coaching program, which is going strong successfully. We have clients going through the program, seeing success, and getting into the relationship that they want and that they deserve. So it's really been phenomenal. It's been fun to watch people who have these goals get what they want. So today what I wanted to talk about with you, so that's enough about me and who I am. And if you have any questions, you could feel free to ask, okay? So what I want to talk about in today's training is how people have regrets about previous relationships and how those regrets wind up preventing us from getting into a healthy love relationship that we want to be in. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because the other day in my group that I have for singles called Find the Right One, I asked the group, what is your biggest regret when it comes to a previous relationship of yours? And the two top regrets were, I should have left sooner, or I should have known who I was really with. And both of those two regrets were the people, it was a poll, and people voted for their top regrets. And that was what they regretted most. So I think it's important to understand that when it comes to getting into a healthy love relationship, if you're not clear on two things, your goal, which is to get into a healthy, loving, meaningful, fun, easygoing relationship, as well as your mind frame, then you might wind up preventing yourself from getting what you say you exactly want. So, for example, a major obstacle from getting into a loving relationship is regret. Okay, and what I mean by that is when a person has a regret, like I should have left sooner, or I should have known that, and by the way, I hear this from many, many people. This is a very, I don't want to say classical, but this is what many people who are divorced say. I was married to, my ex was a narcissist. All right, that is a very big word and term that people use, is my ex was a narcissist. Okay, so when you have a regret about a previous relationship, like I should have left sooner, or I should have known that he was a narcissist, or that she was a narcissist, or I should have known that he wasn't for me. I had actually some people in my group write, I should have been kinder, or I should have ended things differently, or I should have treated this person better. Either way, it's really important to understand how a regret can actually prevent you from getting into that healthy, loving relationship. Okay? Because we all have regrets. Everyone has regrets about one thing or another. But specifically, when you're trying to get into that healthy love relationship, you are going to wind up living in your mind about previous relationships and starting to say all I should have. So first I'm going to give you a clue, not a clue, but a reason why I named the Find the Right One coaching program Find the Right One. Everyone thinks, the majority of the world thinks, that the one who is out there will bring them happiness and complete them. That's pretty much what the world thinks. All movies, all Hallmark cards. It's really, really popular, right? Unfortunately, you're my soulmate, you complete me, all those things, not to be rude, but is bullshit. And the reason why is because if you think about it, right, what it's saying about you as a human being is that you are not whole and complete until you get into a relationship, right? So the reason why I named the program Find the Right One is because the right one is you. It always has, it always will be. First, you have to find yourself and complete yourself and come into the dating world in that regard. Now, since you understand now that the majority of the world thinks that finding the right one means finding someone else, when we have a regret over a previous relationship, what we're really regretting is, I've wasted so much time for two reasons. Either I was with the wrong person, so I wasn't complete, and I'm not going to find that new completion, or I have limited time to find that new person to complete me. Or the regret is, I was with the right person. Why did he break up with me? Why did she break up with me? Or why did I break up with them? I shouldn't have. Okay? So again, it's all coming, regret in love relationships, usually from the perspective of, I screwed up in the past, of either not leaving that person sooner and finding someone who's going to complete me sooner. So that need, that should have, that regret is coming from a false premise that when I so regret being with that person for so long. It was so, I knew I should have gotten out. I should have gone to this other person. I should have left sooner, or I should have stayed and worked it out. If I only would have worked it out, he was such a good person, or she was such a good person. Why did I treat her this way? All these things, the should haves, is that basically your life is screwed now. Because it's not, by the way, I'm just saying how the mind thinks. Your life is screwed now because I can't go ahead and get into that new thing quick enough to complete myself. So first understand that that premise is false, okay? And the reason why it's false is very simple. Are you telling all people who are divorced or all people who are widowed that they will never find their soulmate again because they were either with their soulmate and got divorced from that soulmate, or their soulmate is now dead, so they can never go ahead and find somebody new, right? We know that that is stupid, right? Doesn't make sense. So a very good way of getting rid of a regret in order to get into a healthier relationship is for you to realize that any time that your mind says the word should, and I'm sure that you've heard quit shoulding all over yourself, right? Anytime that you have the word should in your brain, it's basically saying that something in my past should not have gone the way that it's going, right? Now think about that logically, right? You're basically denying reality when you say things should have been differently. And when you deny reality, not that you're delusional, but in a certain sense, it's basically saying if my grandmother had wheels, she would be a bus. Now, that's kind of like a funny thing, but the fact is that she didn't have wheels. She was a human being, so therefore she was a human being, right? It's like me saying that I would like this water bottle to be a horse. It should be a horse. This should be a horse. Now, you're looking at me and saying that I look insane because I'm saying that about the water bottle, but it's me not accepting reality. I can say I would like this to be a horse. Still not going to make sense. Still not going to happen. But it's different than saying it should be or it shouldn't have been a water bottle. Similarly, when you look back at your previous relationships and you say, I should have left sooner, the fact of the matter is that you didn't. We're not judging you for you should have or that you should have left sooner or why didn't you leave sooner. Let's just look at the facts. The facts are that you didn't. So if we look at it factually, what your mind will do is when it says the words I should have, it's denying your past. And it's making you feel bad about what took place. And based on what we talked about before, the reason why you're feeling bad about what took place before is because of these false premises that when I'm complete, when I have this person, then I will be whole, right? A key element to being a successful individual in a loving, healthy relationship is learning to do something with your thoughts that say should have, would have, could have. And that is the following. Die to the past every moment. Okay, now before you go apeshit on me and start to say, well, what do you mean? My past is my history and all these things, and I can learn from it. I agree. We're going to get there. But I want you to imagine a person carrying 20 books in their hand. I'm trying to think of it. I'm going to go get some books. Okay? All right. So this is me carrying these books. Okay? This is me carrying these books on my head. Now, if I keep these books on my head, I can view these books in the following way. Oh my God, I cannot believe how heavy these books are. My head is killing me. I can't stand this. This is making me sick. Oh my God, I hate these books. I should have gotten these books off my head sooner. You see what my mind is doing? Should have. It's all in the past, right? Now, what I can do is realize that what I'm actually carrying on my head, or what I'm carrying in my heart when I say I should have gotten out of the relationship, is information, right? These books can serve as information to me. So I can say, yes, I was carrying books on top of my head, but now what I can actually do, by the way, awesome book, by the way, okay, The Untethered Soul, The Surrender Experiment, phenomenal book. Let's just see what else I have in my library. The Prophet. Okay, The Mind-Body Prescription. Awesome books that can teach you a lot about life. Now, if I view these books as a burden and as a regret that they were on my head, I'm not going to be able to learn from them because I'm going to be so clouded with my emotions, and I'm going to say to myself, I should have gotten rid of these books sooner. I should have gotten out of that relationship sooner. Oh man, I can't believe it. I was such an idiot that I stayed with this moron for so long. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. He cheated on me. She cheated on me. I hate myself for doing this. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Or why did I let go of that person? They were the one. They were the right one for me. Die to the past. That doesn't mean that you haven't had a past. we're going to, instead of saying, I shouldn't have had these books on my head, I shouldn't have stayed so long, we're going to now open up the book. And we're going to say, okay, I stayed for so long in that relationship when I should have left. Why? Again, no emotions. We're not dealing with the I should have. Okay. Well, I was younger then, and my understandings of relationships and human beings were different. I needed to evolve. I needed to emotionally learn about who I am in order for me to get to the point that I'm at right now watching this video. If that's the case, I can use my regret instead of something that holds me back, but I can use it as fuel. And what I mean by fuel is, if I'm dying to the past in every moment, I can actually use that moment that I'm in right now and say, okay, how am I going to learn from my previous history and situation? It's much more rational, right? You're opening the book instead of saying, I shouldn't have had the book on my head. You're opening it up and you're saying, okay, so I got into that. Why did I get into that? Well, I was younger and I didn't have the insights that I now have as to what makes a healthy relationship. Okay. Or I actually don't know why I got into that. And I'm not sure that I have the perspective to get into something healthy again. What am I going to do about that, right? So I use it as fuel. And I'll make my plug here. I joined the Find the Right One coaching program, which teaches me exactly those steps, right? Of why did I get into something unhealthy? Well, you got into it because of A, B, C, D, and E. And now what we're going to do is give you A, B, C, and D in order to get into the healthy one, okay? So a quick summary of what we talked about today is that it's extremely normal for you to have regrets as to previous relationships, as to I should have left sooner, I should have known who I was with, I should have stayed with this person, I should have done this, I should have been kinder, I should have treated them differently. All the should haves, fantastic, not fantastic, but they are fantastic when you view them as a way to get into something new. If you live in the world of should haves, that I should have done, remember, it's delusional. There are a lot of things that shouldn't have taken place, but they did, and it's unfortunate in life, but we have to accept that as reality. If we live in the world of emotions and say, oh, this is bad and that is bad and I should have done this, I should have done that and that, then we're not going to wind up getting it. We're going to view it as a stumbling block in terms of getting into that goal. However, if we learn to die to the past in every moment, and when I say die to the past, I'm saying die to the story of the should haves in our brain, and we instead go back to the situation and don't view it as a regret, but view it as a learning tool to analyze why I did the things that I did, and now I'm going to use either the opposite tactics that I used, then it'll provide me with fuel to get me into that healthy, loving relationship. So I hope that this was helpful to you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email, send me a message. And if you are interested in learning to see if the Find the Right One coaching program is right for you, and if you're a good fit for it, and then if you are, to decide if you'd like to join, I will put the link below this video. Have an awesome day, my friends. Hope all is well.